This is JMC News at 9 with John Chege and Joan Kaberia.
It is a deciding moment at Mount Kenya University. Welcome to JMC Channel News, being on February 19, 2022 on this special coverage of Mkusa Elections.
Our reporters graced the events, and here are the reports. Keep the comments coming on our comment section.
My name is John Chege.
And I am Joan Kaberia. Varsity conducts student elections. What is in the new university election system? Is 2/3 gender rule too hard to achieve? We have special report on this. Low voter turnout. What is going on? We tell you about the youth voter apathy in national politics and university politics. Students at Mount Kenya University are preparing for this year's campus election to elect their next representatives in the University Student Council.
In this annual exercise, candidates ran for various elective seats. The students shared their interests and challenges alike in their year's elections. Our reporter Joan Kaberia has more on the story.
Tomorrow, the MKE students will vote in their preferred delegates, who will in turn elect the Mkusa cabinet. The event will commence from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Indo Arena. We managed to get a word or two from the aspiring delegates on the reasons for vying. Boniface is a journalism student and a delegate aspirant, shares his motivation behind this position.
I want to change the system in our institution so that we can bring up leaders who their main concern to be there is about us, comrades, people who can listen to us and fight for us.
Delegate seats have aroused different interests. For some needed to make a change, and to others it was simply luring with the effort to be familiar and be known in the political sector.
I was eager just to try this out as I was a new student in this school, so I wanted to participate as among the delegates.
Tribalism has been a hassle in politics, especially in the national elections. Is the issue of tribalism in school politics? Alain Tekashi, an international student, calls attention to the matter.
They should stop tribalism in their work, because you can see someone is a Kikuyu and they don't want a lawyer to be in the government, so we don't need that policy in our school. Yeah.
Setbacks were inevitable in the pursuit for votes from students. The delegates shared some idea.
My position right now, I'm not allowed to mention the candidate that I am supposed to elect, based on the fact that each and every other comrade out there has a preferred candidate. It's not, or it will not be good for me to mention the person whom I prefer, being that I'm going to lose some supporters out there.
To mobilize comrades to come and vote for you, it's not an easy task. It's also comrades, they were asking for money. Maybe that's money you don't have, you have to find a way to mobilize those people without money. Yeah.
Politics being a game of chances, it's either you win or lose. Deborah shares her opinion if she doesn't get the position.
For me, I was just trying, so deep inside I knew that if I could not be chosen, the one who will be chosen will be just greater than me, so yeah.
This being the last day of the electoral campaigns in Mount Kenya University, the Mkusa candidates are up and about selling their manifestos to urge the students for their votes. Now we sit and see who wins and takes the day. Joan Kaberia reporting Thika. Delegates continued their campaign outside the polling station even as the voting exercise kicked off. This was as a last effort to lure students to vote for them. Reporter Roswaremu filed the day's event.
It is a busy day at Mount Kenya University City grounds as students have gathered here to carry out the democratic right, which is to vote for their delegates. The results are expected to be announced later in the day. The students arrived early and so did the delegates who are luring voters to vote for them. The elections commenced from 7 a.m. and the exercise is expected to close at 5 p.m. Aspiring delegates are heavily armed with posters containing their name, code, and school as a reminder to voters as they proceed to the voting booths. Supporters are walking around with banners and vuvuzelas to drum support for their favorite candidates. Tom Kipkemui, an aspiring delegate, has firm belief that he is going to emerge victorious after 3 days of campaigning.
Kwa majina ni Tom Kipkemui. Hapa kwa ground wananiita Salui. Sasa mimi ni moja wa delegates ambaye anawania hiyo kiti. Mimi najua nitashinda. Nina imani nitashinda.
Students have turned up in large numbers, ready to participate in this process of determining whom they want to have a say in the election of the Student Association representatives, which will be conducted tomorrow. Some students have already voted and are full of expectations that their choices will emerge the winners. Delegates who will be elected today will be the ones to elect the student council members in the university. Various aspiring delegates continue to campaign for themselves and are urging students who have not voted to go and cast their vote.
Jina naitwa Hadon Kemeo, ukipenda Comrade Kipruta. Mimi ni mwaniaji wa Delegate School of Education Arts, Department of Education Psychology and Technology. Nimekuja hapa kufanya campaign nikifanyia wenzangu na nikijifanyia pia kama delegate hapa MKU. Kitu ambacho tunataka hapa ni kupata viongozi ambao watasimama pamoja na wanafunzi kwa mashida na shughuli mbalimbali.
They are also advising students to choose their leaders wisely, leaders that will represent them well.
Amina, mwambie yeyote yule ambaye ananitazama popote ulipo, njoo tupige kura, njoo tuchague wajumbe ambao watatuletea uongozi, hasa uongozi ambao utasaidia shule yetu ya Mlima Kenya kuendelea na kudumishwa katika kila anga na tukaweza kuendelea.
The students are one-on-one heading to the polling station to vote for their desired delegates. Let's await the results. Reporting from MKU Thika, Rose Wairimu.
Mkusa elections are set to begin today with the delegates elections. The University Act 2016 introduced this form of electoral process across all institutions of higher learning. The elected delegates will choose the student leaders. Here's the report.
Students at Mount Kenya University today are gearing up to elect their leaders who represent them in Mount Kenya University Students Association Mkusa for the next 1 year. The University Amendment Act of 2016 changed the university leadership structure and election process, where now students are expected to elect delegates who will then elect the student council members. Long queues are witnessed outside the polling stations as students line up to vote. The voting process starts with the verification of students' credentials by the Students' Electoral Commission, who check the students' ID and academic status before they are allowed to vote. The voting is done through the secret ballot, where each student is allowed to vote for only 3 delegates in their respective department and then inked to discourage double voting. Sanchu Ken, a Mkusa chair aspirant, advises students to vote for leaders who will have the courage to address problems faced by the fraternity.
I just urge everyone, every comrade, to turn out in large numbers, vote for your preferred delegate so that they can as well practice their democratic right on Friday according to the Mkusa Constitution.
The students continue to stream in to vote while the clouds of tension is seemingly building outside the tallying centers yet indoors arena as Mkusa aspirants and their supporters lure delegates candidates for votes in the final process tomorrow. After all the process of voting, the Electoral Commission will count the votes, an exercise expected to take at least 2 hours. The elected delegates will represent their schools in electing the Mount Kenya University Student Association Mkusa members. At around 4 in the evening, the mood in the tallying center changed after the announcement was done, as the delegates and their supporters reacted differently after the winnings.
It has been indeed a long process as the Mount Kenya University students elect their delegates who will in return vote for the 2022-2023 student leaders. Reporting from Mount Kenya University, I am John Chege. Alright, we are taking a short commercial break. We'll be right back. When we come back, we have a special report on 2/3 gender rule. Has it been achieved? Stay tuned.
Nothing beats the freedom of overcoming the limitations of distance, time, and space. At Mount Kenya University, we offer internationally recognized education through the open, distance, and electronic learning, giving you the flexibility of studying from any part of the world and graduating on time. Simple? Great. Intake is in progress. Mount Kenya University, unlocking infinite possibilities.
This is JMC News at 9 with John Chege and Joan Kaberia.
Welcome back. Mount Kenya University aspirants vying for various positions as delegates received their results at the indoor arena on Thursday mid-morning. As our reporter Grace Ngure informs us, the activity was carried out with utmost security. Here is the report.
Students at Mount Kenya University were able to exercise their right to vote in yesterday's delegates election, where the student had already completed the designated activity voting. It was now time for the University Electoral Commission to count the votes and declare the winners of the election from various schools and departments in the university. Speaking to the press, the winning candidates expressed their happiness and satisfaction and promised to represent their fellow students in voting in good leaders with students' issues at heart.
Nataka kuvote in ule mtu mwenye ako na real ideas. Unajua huwezi tudanganya na like unaweza shuka school fees, na hiyo ni kitu inafaa kufanywa na administration na department. So you can't make that happen. So I just want a leader who is realistic, real, transparent and can deliver what he has promised.
Mimi binafsi nitachagua kiongozi ambaye kwa pale katika presidential debate aliweza kutoa manifesto yake yale precise. Unaona, sitaki kuchagua kiongozi ambaye alitupromise heaven vitu ambayo haviwezi wezekana.
At the same time, Boniface, who did not win in the delegate election, had its request to those who be representing their fellow comrades in voting in new Mkusa leaders.
Natarajia waangalie viongozi, wasiangalia tribal, nusiangalia kwa wajua mtu. Angalia maoni yake na atasaidia comrade vipi wana. Hapa shuleni ukiangalia wengi wale watu wavote juu ya tribal, sio? Lakini mimi ningewaomba wafanye uchaguzi bora, si bora tu wachagua mtu, si bora tu wachagua kiongozi, lakini wachagua kiongozi bora.
Dr. Hamisi, who was speaking to the press, stated that there were no challenges encountered during the whole exercise.
Kwangu kwa kifupi nafikiri tumefanya exemplary well, tumefanya vizuri. Kwa sababu hakujatokea jambo lolote ambalo kwamba linaweza likanifanya nifikiri tumekuwa na shida. Lakini kwa kifupi nafikiri tumeweza kuendesha uchaguzi huu kutoka mwanzo mpaka mwisho. Kutoka yale mambo ambayo kwamba tunayapanga ya mwanzo mpaka mwisho tumeyafanya inavyostahili na sijaona mambo yote ambayo kwamba yanaleta shida.
Additionally, Dr. Hamisi also had the following few words to tell those who did not win during this whole exercise.
Mimi nitawaambia jambo moja tu, asiyekubali kushindwa si mshindani. Kwa hivyo katika kila shindano lazima kuwe na mshindi na mwenye kushindwa. Ikiwa kila mtu atashinda, hakuna uchaguzi. Ndio maana tumeweka huu uchaguzi katika njia hiyo na imefuatikana na tumeweza kufuata sheria zote.
One of the security officers in charge, Solomon, affirmed that the process ran smooth with no hitches at all based on the strategies that they put in place to ensure this.
So vile kumekuwa kukitendeka is that the organization from the management wamekuwa organized, so for each and every department at least ulikuwa na one security, and also tumebadilisha the way we do our work because you cannot as a security person always solve things by the violence, maybe pushing people. No. Sometimes you need to talk with people, make them understand your aim as to why you are here, and apart from that at least to make sure that one allow the whole process for it to maintain peace.
Among the posts that the delegates will be privileged to elect include the President, the Vice President, the Secretary General, the Minister of Finance, the Academics Minister, the Sports Minister, as well as the Entertainment and Social Welfare Minister. Now, the responsibility has been awarded to these delegates that took the winning today at these particular elections to represent their fellow students in voting in the Mkusa cabinet. Grace Ngure, Mount Kenya University, Kiambu County.
Mkusa elections came to a conclusion earlier today with the announcement of winners by the Mkusa Electoral Commission after a week-long campaign. Among the competitive positions were that of the chairperson, vice chair and secretary general.
The winners will represent their fellow students in the Students' Council at the university. Our reporter, Veronica Wangari, attended the celebration and filed this report.
After the final declaration of the electoral results by the Mkusa Electoral Commission, a jovial mood filled the polling station as the poll winners celebrated their victory. Various aspirants expressed their gratitude and delegates for voting them in.
I thank my voters who supported me and who supported me from the first time to the last, and that is it, and I am ready to serve them.
I want to thank God and the people for reasoning well, for choosing leadership, for choosing quality.
The Mkusa Vice Chairperson winner, Mumina Hassan, thanked all the delegates and promised to improve the living conditions in the hostel.
Kuna shida mingi kwa hostel, shida mingi sana. Mina promise kufanyia kazi wanafunzi wa Mount Kenya University kwa bidii.
The Secretary General and the Finance Minister reiterated on their commitment to keep their campaign promises to improve the student welfare at the university.
Actually, ni mengi tumekaa chini tumeongea venye tutapanga.
Abdi Salman added that he would ensure that there is good cohesion between the students and the administration.
About the security, I'm going to sit down, bring the stakeholders together and the police stations, the administration, the students' community, and to bring a memorandum of understanding between all the stakeholders.
The entertainment docket winner called upon his opponent to work together to ensure that the student social welfare is improved.
And what about wenye wameluzu, utawaambia nini?
They come join me and we'll work together.
The students are hoping that the leaders that they have chosen are going to play the role that they have been given. Veronica Wangari, MKU Grounds.
Now, away from the university elections, the general election is nearing come August 9th this year. According to the IEBC register, youth form the largest voting population in the country.
Political heavyweights have been in the forefront to rally the youths to register as voters. The question is, how many youths are willing to register? Our reporter Bruno Gitau interacted with them and now here's the story.
Hii mwaka ndio tunataka tuendeshe ile kazi ambayo tungeendesha wakati huo.
Come 9th August of 2022, Kenyans are set to participate in the general elections to elect their national leaders. Among the hotly contested seat is that of the president, which has attracted a number of contestants. With the rising political temperatures, the presidential campaign heat has been felt all over the country. Various leaders are seen to be focusing and directing their energy, mostly to the youths, urging them to register as voters to exercise their democratic right.
These calls by politicians urging youths to register for the upcoming elections have dominated rallies, especially from the leading politicians. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission IEBC reported low turnout from the youths, who comprise 75% of Kenya's voting population. Are the youths yielding to these calls to register as voters? The IEBC terms the low voter turnout as voter apathy among the young voting population.
Yeah, I've registered as a voter.
Hapana.
I have registered as a voter, yeah.
I'm a registered voter. Some of the youths say they are not willing to vote since they don't have faith in the electoral body and politicians vying for various positions.
Hii Kenya yetu zo kuvota kunanga maana. Ukuta vote lakini malidara vote. Hakuna mse yote atashinda. Hizo elections zote zitakuwa rigged.
Yeah, there is a need to vote because when one registers for voting, it becomes very easier for them to elect the leader they want. Yeah, because you have to exercise your right at the end of the day.
Absolutely. A lot of need to vote. Yeah, I do. The issue of bribery during political campaigns is raising the integrity question. Voter bribery is a serious violation of the Election Offence Act and the Chapter 6 of our 2010 Constitution. Article 73(2)(a) states the guiding principles of leadership and integrity include selection on the basis of personal integrity, competence, and suitability, or election in free and fair elections. The Election Offence Act 2016 1691A says, a person who, during an election period directly or indirectly offers a bribe to influence a voter to vote or refrain from voting for a particular candidate or political party commits an offense. Clause 2 states that it is an offense to offer bribes to influence a voter to attend or participate in or refrain from attending political meeting.
Yeah, that is true. In fact, some people are actually doing it for political mileage and probably for handouts.
When it comes to voting, it's a personal decision. But when it comes to they want handouts, that becomes they don't want to exercise their democratic rights.
In a recent Ruto's campaign tour in Kondele, Kisumu County, his motorcade was stoned by rowdy youths, forcing him to cut short his speech. Mumina Hassan, a student leader in MKU Alliance Mama Suluhu, urges youths to maintain order, vote peacefully, and avoid being used by politicians to cause riots.
I will encourage them to vote peacefully, and regardless of the outcome, they should just accept the outcome and move on.
Considering the youth make the largest population in our country, will they be participating in the coming general elections come August 9th, 2022? Reporting from Thika, my name is Bruno Gitao.
And that story by Bruno marks the end of our special coverage. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy the rest of our stories. My name is Joan Kaberia.
And I'm John Chege.
Goodbye.
Mount Kenya University takes pride in being an academic giant with some of the best infrastructure, imparting knowledge to the best brains in the country and the region. We admit both self-sponsored and government-sponsored students under the Kenya Universities and Colleges Central Placement Service. Join us today and train with the best to become the best. Mount Kenya University, unlocking infinite possibilities.